Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing a coaching session for Amumu. So special thanks to David G for sponsoring this. If you'd like to sponsor a coaching session yourself, then just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Set that up. This is patch 1016 as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in here. And it's just $25 for coaching if you are not a channel member. If you are a channel member, then it's just $20 for coaching. You can become a member by hitting that membership button on YouTube, or there's a link to join via PayPal. And I'll give you $5 off of any coaching if you become a member, or any guides that you want to commission. If you'd like to commission a guide, then that is just $30 and then $5 off. And that can be a champion guide or a topical guide about anything you can think of in terms of macro, micro, one-tricking, laning. I have dozens and dozens of guides on the channel, so be sure to check all that out. And all of those are free, obviously, that other people have donated for that I just made. But if you'd like one tailor-made to your specific interests, then I can do that for you. We also do cover Total War Warhammer if you're interested in that. Be sure to check that out. Tons of campaigns there, and then we are starting to sponsor some more single-player campaign as well. We get donations for. Right now we're doing Witcher 3. David also donated for a Deadwood playthrough, which I haven't played before, but that should be fun. Now, okay, double pulling early. I don't... Well, okay. Yeah, Amumu can do it. I guess. I know Fiddlesticks does it. I don't know if Amumu has the range to do that. I don't think he does. I mean, you might be able to pull it just slightly down a little bit further. I mean, if you just take your E first against those Raptors, you just melt the Raptors super fast. So I might take the E first and then go for W if that's what you're interested in. I'm not sure about the pause if you're just chatting there or what. But obviously you want to keep rolling. Yeah, I would, if you want to do Raptors, I would probably just start E. You just clear them almost instantly with Raptors, and then go for the W. And I'd probably save that smite for a bigger single target buff that's going to take you longer, so probably either Gromp or Blue. Alright, just go straight to Scuttle here. You want to try to be on time for that Scuttle. So that first of all, you have a shot at it, but second of all, you'll at least know if he's there. I don't mind starting top on red side. Just, I think you want to try to avoid the enemy jungler early on. Shaco's kind of hit or miss. He's pretty weak early on too, but especially if he's going AP Shaco, which he probably is. He doesn't have Ignite, so that's good. But now you might be able to double pull this one in theory. Like, the problem with Amumu is that he's melee. So what you would do if you did want to try to double pull these, and I don't know if he can do that early on or not. I'm not as familiar with his limits on some of these double pulls. Gromp and Blue can hit pretty hard. But you would pull Blue over to Gromp. So you would probably just auto attack Blue and then run over to Gromp and Q Gromp. But I don't know if you're going to be able to get back fast enough before Blue would reset. It looks like you probably could not double those. It's tough because Amumu is straight up melee versus Fiddlesticks, who's sort of most notorious for double camping like that. Has range. You know, he can pull him from range, and his tether has a longer range on it. So we'll go ahead and speed through this a little bit. So they are a lot of AD here. I know you had been saying on the channel that you were a fan of the Frozen Heart Leandries. And I have seen more and more people doing that with Cinderhulk. I do like Cinderhulk and the Leandries. I'm still not 100% sure that I'm sold on Frozen Heart. It is a good item on him, but... And I have been seeing some of Amumu's getting that. If you do the Aftershock instead of Electrocute, I think it could be good. Some tank Amumu stuff is coming back into favor. I know that a lot of the top-end one-trick Amumus were going for an Electrocute, more AP-oriented build, which I think is better early game. And I'm not sure which elo this is, but I mean, people were doing that build all the way up through like Diamond and Master, the one trick Amumus that I saw. So it's not even like it's a super low elo build, but I feel like the AP and just going for the one shot Amumu, because like his defenses aren't that great. Like his base stats are okay, but his only defensive steroid is his E, and it's really not that great. But his AP ratios are very good. So that's why I think that going a more AP-centric build might be better. CDR is very nice because his ult does have a long cooldown, so I don't know. I get it, but okay, nice. Got it from him. Wait on him to Q. Okay. Well, that's a good guess. He probably jumped over there. Yeah. Huh. Well, that's not good. But, I mean, they do have a decent chunk. Now, note that Shaco is going AP, and he does do quite a bit of AP as well, so... Like, my big beef, we talked about this on stream a lot, with Frozen Heart, is I like the item, I like the concept, it has a lot of mana on it, though, and... I mean, I guess Amumu does churn through that mana pretty quick, but, like, with the current state of the jungle item, as of patch 10.16, you basically have infinite mana in the jungle. Like, it's really hard to run out of mana. I mean, Amumu, if anyone can do it, Amumu can do it, you know? He does chug through that mana, but... I would just go up and just start the Raptors. I mean, it is nice to be able to hit the thing, but I think taking the extra 3 to 4 seconds to line up a perfect Q on the big is just not worth it. I mean, you can just walk right up and Q it in melee if you want to get that damage on it. But I would just start that damage immediately. Okay, Shen's bottom. I would go cover top. How dangerous is that Darius? I mean, maybe... It looks like you're not going to be able to get that much here. I maybe would have just gone top to try to cover that from Darius if you don't think you're going to get dunked. I mean, you do have your ult, so it'd be hard for him to dunk you under tower. And Shen doesn't have TP. So yeah, I mean, you could have had at least a cannon and 4 minions if you went up there, which is a lot. So I probably would have just gone top. Yeah, I would not try to, I wouldn't aggro. I mean, you ran out of mana there. Ironically, I'm talking about, like, you have virtually infinite mana, but then he ends up getting it. I don't know. I mean, there are, like, I saw a Tyler 1 go in this build the other day, and you were telling me Night Blue 3 does it a lot with the Frozen Heart. He does have the nice, you know, AoE CC, which does go along well with, you know, his kit. It's just that I just feel like he just doesn't get as much benefit out of going resistances as someone like Sejuani or Nunu or Zac, just because he doesn't have a lot of the healing built into his kit or a lot of the other steroids like armor buffs or, you know, shields or anything to really put those resistances to good use. It's just the E, which once again, you know, falls off pretty heavily later on. I guess it remains relevant against heavy auto attackers, I suppose, but... Okay, alright, that was good. Dragon. Yeah. Ping dragon. Oh, y'all should definitely do dragon right there. I mean, Yone maybe could intercept you, but you'd have a 3v1 on the dragon, probably a 4v1 on the dragon. I think. Okay, yeah, you better. Yeah, let's say you really need that dragon because they're gonna get the tower, and they're probably yeah, they did rift up there, so. I was talking and overlooked the trigger on that, but Just assume that was probably the case. Okay. I'll go get his jungle too. You still got probably 20 or 30 seconds before he spawns. He's not keeping up with his jungle super well. I would have gone to go take a peek at his raptors. I mean, we've got the God's Eye here. Yeah, his raptors were up. So I would have probably taken a look at his raptors there. Just to try to, you know, just when you see him topside, you just want to get as much as you can off of him. I mean, he's going to end up at the better end of that trade because he got a kill and a bunch of plates and tower. So, you know, you're still going to lose that trade, but at least lose it the least amount possible. You know what I mean? So I would probably go take a look at those raptors. So if he's been, because he did rift, right? And then he went straight top after that. And then he just took top tower. And he just recalled, you know? So it's a 2-minute respawn on the camps. So it's almost guaranteed his raptors are going to be up. Unless he cleared them, like, literally right before he went to rift. Then maybe they're not, but... Okay, that's a nice grab. Good, good. Okay. Push this up a little bit, or speed this up a little bit, rather. Okay, you're doing well. You're keeping up with the farm. Up dragon. Oh, outplayed. Nice. Okay. Push this up. Shaco's after him. Yeah, there he is. Oh, be careful with Leona. I'd probably... yeah, okay, yeah. Other option is just go get red and just do a clear. This might be a waste of time. Yeah. Kind of a waste of time. I probably, my instinct was to go red and then just, like, Wolves Bronx. And then look for a play. You want to try to keep that farm up, because farm is, like, guaranteed money. I think that's the easiest thing to do a lot of times. You're a jungler, and I see this a lot in jungle videos, and I'm guilty of it too to some extent, is, you know, just kind of over-ganking. Just kind of getting caught up in the action, you know, saying, oh, you know, all this stuff going on, I can maybe make some plays, and it's like, that's the stuff that's memorable, that looks really cool, you know? It's like high impact, but it's got some risk to it, right? It's not guaranteed you're going to get kills when you're, you know, kind of investing into the YOLO queue skirmishes, but when you get your, when you get the farm, it's guaranteed money, so. You do want to gank, I mean, you don't want to be like AFK farming, but I think that, you know, for a lot of people that I see, it's under farmed, over gank.
Rampage.
Because 3 camps are about equal to a kill, and they're more experienced. Kills don't give that much experience, especially if you get the assist or whatever, you don't get a lot of gold off of it. So, unless you are getting the actual kill, then 3 or 4 camps are going to be more worthwhile. And the camps spawn so fast, like, you really want your camps to be on cooldown before you gank. So, like, right here's a perfect time to back, because Dragon's coming in. So I would just back right here. Like, a good strategy for back timings in the jungle are you clear one side and then you go back and then you go grab the other side. Because, like, right now, look how long it took you to walk from here over to here, right? That's about the same distance as walking from the base over to there. It's going to take you 10 more seconds to recall, but you're getting a free buy there, and you've got 1,800 gold, you know? So you could already get, and, like, now you just used another 20 or 30 seconds and didn't really accomplish anything, you know what I mean? So that, like, this already could have been cleared, and you could have had Scuttle, and you could be ready to go for that dragon that's coming up here in probably like 20 or 30 seconds, so. Unless, yeah, that wasn't really that important of a buy. I mean, you didn't get any extra farm. I mean, sometimes it's worth it to overstay or to kind of break your momentum on your camps in order to have a better back timing to make sure that you're getting a key item power spike before a major objective. But right there, that didn't appear to really be the case. So, but you see now, it's kind of you're like you can get this, but you're running a little late. You know what I mean? Like, these already could have been cleared. You could have already had Dragon, and you could have been rotating up to Rift by now. Yeah, just sweep it, and then see if you can go get it. You do have priority in every lane, so you should just be able to get it. I like the wards. I mean, you are doing better than the Shaco. Like, you're up on farm on the Shaco, but so I'm not trying to say, like, you're obviously doing well. Like, you're not. It's not that you're not doing well. It's just it's a coaching session, so I'm trying to give you as many different optimizations as I can, and you know, you can decide what you want to integrate into your game. But I'm just throwing it out there, just giving you something to think about. You want to try to get Rift before it despawns too. Darius and Shaco might be on it right. Well, Darius is backing, it seems, but they might be on Rift right now. So you could have had that Rift as well. So what are you getting now? I would finish Leandre's personally. That's a big completion. I know it's annoying to get the blasting one, and you do need to be a little tankier. I'm just not sure I'm completely sold on that. But that's fine. Who's fed on their team? The Shaco is. I mean, Abyssal Mask is another good one. I'm sure you're aware of that. That one is a tanky item that I like because that actually contributes pretty significantly to your DPS, and it gives you mana. Like, well, obviously it's not a it's an AP item, not an AD item. Okay. Okay, you guys flash, that's good. I don't know if I would have ulted right away there. Maybe. But like, your ult is such a big cooldown, and it's such a low probability that you get him with Vel'Koz, because like his Q's gonna be back up in a few seconds, you know, so I probably would not have ulted there. If you were AP Amumu, yes. You know, if that was like another Blasting Wand or a completed, if those were Sork Boots or a Runic Echoes or something, yes, I think you can blow him up. But as tank Amumu, I don't think you're going to have the firepower to blow him up. Now, you are up 2 levels on him, so, you know, once again, you're doing well, but we're trying to get you doing as well as possible. Okay. Now another option, if you do like tank items, you might want to consider, and I don't know how often this is collected on Amumu, but if you don't have a tank bottom, you could get a Zeke's, especially if your ADC is doing fairly well. I actually would like a Zeke's because you do get some mana, and it actually buffs up your AD carry, like the damage on the AD carry, and it gives you an extra slow field around you for additional damage, which does help trigger your Leandre's as well. So I know that Frozen Heart, I'm pretty sure it's still got that bug where it triggers. Like your abilities trigger the full damage on it. But Zeke's also does that, and it actually provides a slow, you know. Frozen Heart doesn't provide a movement speed slow at all. It provides an attack speed slow, which is cool, but a lot of them, I mean, 2 of them are relying on attack speed, I guess, but the big one is it just adds a lot of extra damage. I mean, even just you personally with the Zeeks, it's 400 damage, AoE if you stay close to people. And that slow effect, like I said before, is going to allow you to stick to them with your tiers even more, and it gives your 80 carry or whomever you decide to tag with it extra damage. It's a lot cheaper. It's like 2,300 instead of 2,600 on Frozen Heart. I think Frozen Heart might be 2,650. I can't remember the exact amounts, but I mean, it does have a lot more armor than Zeke's. Now, Zeke's does have magic resist on it too. Zeke's has 90 resistances, but it has a lot less mana and it costs a lot less, and it has all the damage buff. So I don't know. I don't know how often. I don't think that's super common to see on Amumu, but I think that could be good, and I also think that Knight's Vow could be good if you're looking for tank items that provide a little more utility for your team. It's just something to think about. Okay, yeah, just stay on track, just stay on track. You have smite? Oh, you don't have smite. Oh, it's bold. Oh, she missed her W. I don't think it would have killed you anyways, but... Huh. Nice. Zeke's is also a non-combo with Cinder Hulk, which is why I largely don't get it on Amumu. Now, Amumu does scale better with max health as well, but that's another sort of weird thing about, or not Zeke's, Frozen Heart, is just that it just doesn't synergize. He's got Cleaver as well, so he's, and they have Last Whisper, so it's gonna be carving through some of that armor. So I don't know. Like I said, I know it's really popular out there. I'm just trying to give you some alternatives. Okay, completing Leandries, I like that. Like Rylai's Leandries is usually the really famous combo. That gives you health, it scales with Cinder Hulk, it gives you the slow. It also costs about the same amount. I think it's 2,600. It gives like 90 AP or something. So, and it gives an actual slow, you know, that slows people down. Not just the attack speed, but like it slows the movement speed. Now that's, you know, Rylai's is going to be a lot better if you're getting like Sork boots and, ooh, yeah, I might have waited on that. Not just because you missed, but like, I just don't think you're in a position to follow up there if you've already missed your Q and you ult, you know, she's, I don't know. That's a tough call, but I probably would save the ult there. Okay. You do have a lot of CS right now, so you're definitely catching up at this point on the CS. You're getting a lot of waves, and you're getting some good farm. There are just a few more optimizations earlier on, but you know, obviously you're really far up on the CS, so that's very good. You're up about 100 CS, 90 CS, so. Another armor item. What are you getting now? You know, that build, Abyssal will probably be pretty good, which is the next item. That does increase the magic damage of Vel'Koz, which is pretty significant. But then Kai'Sa does decent magic damage with her passive, and Shen does quite a bit with his Q also. So Shen is actually mostly magic damage, so you have a bit more magic damage than it would seem. And Shaco is a significant portion of their damage in a lot of these fights. So Leona's procs are also magic damage. So yeah, I might go with Missile here. I don't think that's what you're going. Bramblevest. Yeah, okay. Bramblevest makes sense. You know, Yone and Darius are going to have a lot of healing, so. I think anti-healing is still underrated by a lot of people. I know that even LS, you know, one of the most famous sort of analysts, or infamous, however you want to think about him, is just always critical of Grievous Wounds effects, especially Morellonomicon, but the truth of the matter is, it's extremely strong. Like, there's so much healing in the game. Even if it doesn't look like they have a lot of healing, they have a lot of healing. Trust me. Okay, nice. So I do like the Bramblevest. Okay, nice. That was a good escape from the Shaco clone. Okay, this is probably it, right? Okay, good. Okay. Alright, so major stuff that I think you could work on here. First of all, the build's fine. I think that's, you know, a standard build like I mentioned before. Consider Zeke's, consider Knight's Vow situationally. If you want a little bit of a faster power spike. I would recommend trying out an AP build, just see what you think about it, because you do come online faster. The major problem with Cinder Hulk is that it takes like a couple of items before that really starts to kick in and become gold efficient. Especially if you're getting Frozen Heart second, if it's not a big HP item second, then you're not getting any benefit out of the scaling out of Cinder Hulk. I mean, having the extra health does give you better effective health with the armor that Frozen Heart provides, but I don't know. I would consider, you know, maybe trying out Runic Echo, seeing what you think about it. That is more popular with an electrocute cheap shot, you know, style of build. So there, you know, you can op.gg and look at some of those builds. I know that this build is fairly popular, but there are a decent amount of Amumus that also do the AP version, so I don't know if you've tried that out or not, but I think you can come online faster and you can snowball the game a lot harder, particularly if this is like gold or platinum or lower. I think that gives you a lot of opportunities, particularly with your playstyle where it looks like you like going really hard, you know, and using those ults and trying to 1v1 and get those people. It looks like your playstyle would match really well with the AP. And I think with that, once you get Runic Echoes plus Sorcerer Boots, you're powerful immediately, you know, off of your first couple of ults, you can really start cleaning up. Versus Cinder Hulk takes a little while to start accumulating, and then Frozen Heart as well is going to take a little while to come online. So I don't know, try that out, and then that build would get Leandries after that. It does help you out a lot with the mana too with Runic Echo, so you don't have to invest in a mana item, but you do get a lot of mana regen off of Runics just kind of built into it, so that is very nice, and that does give you that extra bit of spike damage with the Runic activation or the Runic proc in addition to the 80 AP. So like Runic fits in really well if you do Runic, Leandries, Rylai's, and you get a lot of extra HP there, you get a lot of extra AP, but you still don't have mana problems, even though you don't have a mana item with Leandries and Rylai's. So that's something to consider, something to think about. You know, sometimes with those builds, I'll see people go for an Oblivion Orb as well, so they'll do like Sork Boots, Oblivion Orb, and then they'll go into Leandries after that. And then if there's time left after that, they can go into Rylai's, but it's up to you. And I've seen mix and matches too, where sometimes people will still go Aftershock even with that kind of build. But anyways, I think that this build is okay. Now earlier on, you did end up with a lot of farm, which is very good, but earlier on, you know, just try to work on those optimizations. Unless you're really certain that the gank's gonna be successful, just make sure that your camps are farmed before you go gank, especially like your main camps in the center of the map. So like your raptors, your wolves, obviously your buffs. if you need to leave golems up to go gank something, okay, the golems do take a while to clear. They're probably your least efficient camp. Amumu does clear them pretty fast with his AoE, but they are probably your least efficient camp overall. So if you have to skip the golems every now and then, fine. But try to make sure that your core camps are farmed out. And a good trick that I said before for back timings is just make sure that one side of your map is cleared out if everything is available, if you've been ganking or running around or whatever, and all of your camps are up. Just clear half of it back and then go clear the other half after you back, because it's going to take that long a lot of times to walk over there anyway. So you might as well. Yeah, and just try to time your backs with objectives and make sure that you're going to be there on time. So like that dragon, you're like 30 seconds late to the dragon. Now, that was fine because your team was dominating anyways. You just got to roll up and get it. But just review that one player I was talking about and just look at kind of the efficiency there where you could have backed. You would have had that extra 30 seconds to have all those camps cleared up and be ready to go right when the dragon spawned, because you didn't actually get any gold like at that moment. So that's just one thing just to point out. You know, obviously you're doing very well most of the time. That's just one kind of inefficiency I think that you could tinker with a little bit. And a lot of jungle just comes down to how efficient can you farm, like how efficient is your pathing, right? Because every second counts. Because you could always, the thing about jungle is you could always be doing more. You know what I mean? Like you could always have farmed your camps a little faster. You could have ganked a little bit more. Even doing things like invading the enemy camp, that was another thing. When you got the dragon and you knew they were topside, I would go at least take a peek at their raptors, and maybe that control ward there that you dropped on the dragon, you didn't really need to do that because you had full priority over both lanes. I think you just swept that as well, if I'm remembering that correctly. I think you already swept it, and I think you did have priority over the lanes. So I would have saved that control ward to go in here, check the raptors. If they have it, good, clear the raptors. If they don't, you still have an opportunity to drop a ward. So especially with Water Drake, that was the second Drake, I believe, that spawned right there, which would have had these bushes come up. You could put like a control ward right there, which is really good for keeping an eye on the enemy jungle. So just try to get in there and get a little counter jungle if you know the enemy's top side, you know, unless you're very certain that their camps are down. Just go take a peek at raptors. You do them so quickly, especially if you have priority mid and there's no threat of them collapsing on you. Just go take a peek at the raptors, try to clear them, get some vision in there if you can. Just get as much, you know, as you can whenever they give you the opportunity. Anyways, I think that's going to be it. Hopefully this gives you some ideas to help you out. So thank you very much to David G. As always, if you'd like a coaching session yourself out there, anyone watching, just email me at thestratchprofessor@gmail.com. This will be part of a coaching playlist as well. So we're going to have over 200 coaching sessions on the playlist at the making of this video. So if you want to flip through the thumbnails, find something else you're interested in watching. They don't get a ton of views, honestly, out there, but there's not a lot of people that do YouTube searching for coaching videos. So it's really just some really devoted fans that like to watch some of these coaching sessions for their favorite champions. But if you want to watch them, they're there for you. I always try to archive them, even though they get low views. But anyways, thank you very much once again to David and everyone watching. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.